There are some days when the stories are so sad. Mm-hmm. People raising their families in cars, which I just can't imagine. And I find myself swimming in the deep end of the pool. Mm-hmm. Sure. Where there's no footing. And I just feel, oh my goodness, we have to do everything and we have to do it now. So I have to dog paddle back to the shallow end where I get my footing. What can we do for you now? What can we do for you today? How can we help you in the future? So that when they leave the building, they are leaving with something to hold on to. And they're leaving with a lot more hope than they came in with.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for another episode of At Home with Emily, a podcast about creating a life you love. We are already in the last week of November with Thanksgiving upon us. We've had such a great month talking about grief and growth and gratitude. And today we are talking about giving back. And my special guest is Miss Deb Stratman. Deb, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
You totally got roped into this.
I did. I know. My friend Jamie asked me what I was doing next Monday, and I said, whatever you want, Jamie, and this was what it was.
Well, everyone's approximately 2 to 3 degrees of separation from being on this podcast because I know too many people. And so thank you to Jamie for bringing us Miss Deb. But the reason that I was wanting you to come in, and I'm so glad that you did, is because all of our conversations have led us to this point of giving back.
Right.
And what that looks like and how we can do that. And unfortunately, I mean, just even in my lifetime, the way that culture has evolved, it's just the opposite of that right now. It's just, this is my way and this is what I want, mm-hmm. and everybody's in my way and in the way of what I want. And there's a lot of anger in the world, it seems like, and just unhappiness. And so the reason that I wanted you to come in is because you are someone who is retired,
right?
Quote unquote.
Right.
Is it or is it not true that you're pretty much working almost full-time as a volunteer right now?
I'm there 4 full days.
Okay.
And then I recover on Friday and Saturday and Sunday and hit it again on Monday.
And this is at Crosslines?
At Crosslines. In the waiting room.
Okay.
At Crosslines.
Front lines?
Front lines, yes.
And what do you do at Crosslines on a daily basis?
I have this wonderful privilege of, first of all, not just my personality, I really don't know a stranger, so I can meet people easily. Yes. So as people come in the door, they are greeted warmly by a front desk person. Mm-hmm. But then they come into the waiting room, which is kind of my domain. I don't want to sound like too territorial, but it is a place where I can really make people feel totally safe, mm-hmm. totally at home, figure out why they're here, what can we do for you, what can we do for you today, and what can we do for you maybe on down the line, and just make them feel safe and acknowledged and like they are welcome.
Yeah. And you get all walks of life, don't you?
All walks of life. But people are not coming to us unless they have a severe need, mm-hmm. and usually the first thing is food insecurity. And my two special categories of people are the single parents that are, and it's not just women, but single men or women who are raising their children by themselves, mm-hmm. or senior citizens, which speaks very close to home, who are living on their Social Security and raising their grandchildren and great-grandchildren. It happens all the time.
And trying to do it on that check.
Yes. And so I think I'm tired when I go home. It's nothing like how tired they must be at the end of the day. So those are people that I just really have a special heart for.
Mm-hmm. And you've worked in ministry for a long time.
Right. My husband was the pastor of First and Calvary Presbyterian Church for 15 or so years. And First and Calvary's team of volunteers happened to be volunteering in the pantry today, so it was fun to get to see them. And in retirement, you just have this wonderful gift of time. And I'm not telling other people what to do with that gift of time, but I know what I wanted to do. And I just wanted to put hands and feet to my faith. And I am blessed with good health.
Yes.
Did you want to ask me how old I am?
How old are you, Miss Deb?
I'm 74, and I'm really, really blessed with having almost as much energy as I had 20 years ago. And so I want to use that to help God's children. And this is a perfect fit for me.
And by the way, we're all God's children.
Absolutely.
Not just a select few.
You bet.
And so I'm sure you have some days that are harder than others.
Yes. Yes. In fact, I was just telling Jamie the other day, there are some days when the stories are so sad. People raising their families in cars, which I just can't imagine. And I find myself swimming in the deep end of the pool
Sure.
where there's no footing. And I just feel, oh my goodness, we have to do everything and we have to do it now. So I have to dog paddle back to the shallow end where I get my footing. What can we do for you now? What can we do for you today? How can we help you in the future? So that when they leave the building, they are leaving with something to hold on to, and they're leaving with a lot more hope than they came in with. That's my word of the day,
I was
hope.
going to say, is that not the biggest part of it, though?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
That you get the opportunity to speak into people's lives.
Right. Okay, you want to hear two stories?
I do.
Okay. A woman came in, and many people come in just with deer in the headlights. They don't know if they're in the right building. What am I doing? Do I have the right stuff? Can you help me? So that immediate ability to assure them, yes, you are in the right building. Yes, we can help you. Single mom, 5 children. First of all, she was assured she could get food. You mean I can get diapers? Yes, you can get diapers. You mean that we're signing up for the holiday and I can sign my children up for Thanksgiving in the toy store? Yes, you can. Then the intake person doing the account found out that one of her children had a birthday that day. So our birthday bag, Chelsea, who fills the birthday bags, stopped what she was doing, filled the birthday bag. And then as the woman went out the door, the coats were being taken in on racks to be the Start Our Coat giveaway for families of children. She left with coats, food, diapers, holiday, birthday bag, and coats. And I wish that was all the time, every day, and it's not. But that one was the look on her face. There are no words to it, and it was, Emily, more than gratitude. It was hope. I came in not even knowing I was in the right building, and I am leaving knowing I have people that will treat me with respect, help me where I am, not judge me, and leave me with hope. It's huge.
Well, I think, too, when you see children.
Yes?
They were just born. They haven't done anything.
Right, exactly.
They're hungry. They're cold.
Yep. All of that. And so that's what gets me out of bed in the morning. It really does.
Well, when you're a mom, it's really hard to see other moms.
Yes, it is.
Going through that.
Yes, it is. And the waiting room can be in a very emotional place.
Yeah.
And so we hug when we're invited to hug, and we just give words of encouragement. But I think the biggest thing that I see that we do at the end of that person's visit, happiness is a good word. I love the word happy, but it's just not enough for me. Hope is everything. Gratitude, yes. Respect, yes. But hope is everything. Knowing that maybe this isn't my forever story. Maybe this is a super rough patch, and I don't know when it's going to end. But maybe it will end because I will know where to find help.
One thing that I think is hard about what you do is you're just a little snapshot in time, okay? And it's probably their worst snapshot. And so there's a little bit of embarrassment there for some people.
Yep.
And the struggle of going through those moments. And you may never see them again.
Right.
You might. You might not.
Let me just tell you what happened this morning. 3 months ago, a man came in, a senior citizen, with his head down and tears in his eyes. I kid you not. Just ashamed and embarrassed. And so in an instance like that, we understand, and let's do this as quickly as possible, because we do not want to prolong what is uncomfortable for you, even though we try and make it not uncomfortable. It still is.
Yes.
The next month he came back, head held high, and he was recognized and helped. This morning he came back and brought a friend who also needed help. So now he's helping someone else. That's pretty cool. And there was another lady, a senior citizen, who came in just last week and said, the money that I have saved, first of all, she came in the month after she first came to Crosslines and said, I'm so much healthier. The amount of fresh produce I'm getting, I am not eating out of cans all the time. I am so much healthier. And with the money she saved, she bought her first pair of new shoes. 2 months later, she came in last week and she said, I have saved enough money to buy a sewing machine. And what is she doing with that sewing machine? Making little handheld soft things for our children at Crosslines to play with while they're waiting to be served. I mean, giving and getting, I mean, it's just a wonderful circle of receiving and giving back, and it's wonderful.
So you're not giving up your post anytime soon?
No. No, I won't. I mean, for as long as God has me with enough energy to do it, and barring my family circumstances, because we're not getting any younger, but it is my place. It is my place to be.
Well, I can see the joy that it brings to you.
It does. It really does.
You know, just to be able to provide those immediate needs and the immediate difference that makes for someone. So I know you heard part of what Jamie and I were talking about last week with the gratitude quotient and the difference that can make. Is that something that surprised you, or would you say that falls right in line with what you see every day?
It does fall in line because there is great gratitude. And it does go both ways. Every single volunteer, and Jamie can attest to this, is so grateful to be there. Do we leave exhausted? Yes, but it's always a good tired. It's always a good tired. And we're just so grateful to be able to give in that place because it's such wonderful teamwork, doing such important work. It's just humbling. It's all the good stuff. It really is.
Well, we're grateful for you.
Well, thank you.
Will you be off for Thanksgiving, or will you be serving for Thanksgiving?
Serving. If Crosslines is closed, I will not be there. But if Crosslines is open, you can just about bet. It's just real briefly, when I retired, I found myself only around senior citizens, and I thought, wait a minute, I need some young people in my life. And God opened this door of young people who are the staff at Crosslines, who are really many younger than my own children. And they've just become my family.
Well, Deb, thank you so much for talking with us today and for inspiring us. And by the way, you remind me of my mom. My mom works at another mission in town and does intake as a volunteer. She's a retired teacher. And exactly what you said, it's a good tired.
It's a good.
But they are tired, my parents are, when they finish the day out at the mission. No. And I've seen the difference that it's made for them to have that purpose again and have somewhere to go and serve every day. And by the way, you don't have to be retired to do it.
No.
There's all kinds of opportunities that all of us can do on nights and weekends and during the week as well.
That's right.
And I want to thank all of you for being here with us today for this episode of At Home with Emily. If you are watching us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe so you can be notified of when the next episode drops, which is every Wednesday. You can also follow Around the Ozarks on aroundtheozarks.com, where you can sign up for our daily newsletter to be notified of all the podcasts. And of course, we're always on X and Instagram and Facebook as well. We'll see you next time, and happy Thanksgiving.